Bonjour YouTube, welcome back to the channel. Guys, unfortunately today it is just me on my own. Tom and Ed are not available to go through the RS3, but there will be more alpha videos coming soon as well. In this video we're going to go through why I bought it, what stands out for me with the RS3 compared to other cars, specs, everything really. So let's jump into it. Let's start exploring the RS3. If there's any questions along the way, make sure to whack them in the comments below. We'll do our best to get back to you as soon as we can. So guys, as a brief introduction, this is a 71 plate 2022 Audi RS3. I've had it for over a year and a half now. I've done plenty of miles in it. It's been with me to the Nürburgring. I've done trips through Europe in it. And just normal daily driving as well. So it's a great all-rounder. In terms of the car specs itself, this is the carbon black edition. You can tell by the wheels, blacked out carbon spoiler on the boot as well. Also, it comes with the RS Performance exhaust as well. Under the bonnet is a 2.5 litre turbocharged inline 5. It makes 400 horsepower or 400 PS and similar in torque as well. It's four-wheel drive, so it's got the famous Audi Quattro four-wheel drive system. This one has got steel brakes, can get optional ceramics. They're part of a bigger performance pack. As mentioned, this one obviously is covered in carbon. So there's the wing mirror. Colour is Camorra Grey, which I believe was a launch edition colour for the carbon black edition. So there's only a few of these. I think I looked on how many left. I think it was 250 or 350 in this colour, and that was it. So there's not many of these about. In terms of the car itself, this is the Sportback, so you can also get a saloon version. Again, we'll put in a picture. I prefer the Sportback, but each to their own. In terms of practicality, I obviously am sat in the boot here. It's a good sized boot, to be honest. As you can see, my helmet from the track days. I would say it's an Audi A3. It's still a hatchback. It's still a small car. It's a very fast version of it, but it's still a hatchback. We've got a dog. She quite comfortably lays on the back seats. She has a little bed there and we strap her in. But boot wise, you can fit, we've had big suitcase and a small suitcase and rucksack and stuff in here previously. In terms of the back seats, I'm 6'2". Tom and Ed are also 6'2", 6'3", and you can get three of us sat in the car quite comfortably behind the driver and behind the passenger. The back seats themselves, I've not actually done any or sat in them at all really once the car's been driving, but everyone I've spoken to said they're very comfortable, so it's a good place to sit in the back. The front, in terms of comfort, is incredible. I've heard a few people say whack it in comfort mode and it's just like being in a normal car, and it is, honestly. The ride is fantastic. So I've just jumped inside, guys, so now you can see the interior from a driver's eye view. As I mentioned, this is the carbon black edition, so it has the carbon effect here. But in terms of other boxes ticked in this car, this hasn't got many ticks, to be honest with you. It's got all the blacked out parts because of the carbon black kit. It's got the sport steering wheel. It's very simple actually laid out in here. Not many buttons down here. Screen, as you can see, that is an annoyance. Put your sticky fingers on it, it will show your finger marks. Other thing to note, really nice, easy place to be. One thing I will point out, people do complain about the gear selector. I actually really enjoy it. It makes it so easy. I live in London, just to flick around to get sort of 3-point turns, parking, all that sort of stuff done. Makes it really simple and easy. Got good USB connectivity. The Apple CarPlay works really well in here. Obviously you've got the digital driver's display just there when it's turned on. So I have it in this traditional, this is what the newest mode is, but you can change it to the old school RS with the normal dials and the sport version as well. I know people get quite caught up on it, but I don't really mind it like this. So there's CarPlay. So CarPlay works really nice and smoothly. Yeah, it's all good. I have barely used this stuff here though. I'm always on CarPlay. In terms of quality and stuff, I think it's very well made in here. The fashion for car companies now is to have a bit cheaper plastics and stuff. Like this isn't brilliant down here. But everything else is standard Audi. It's very well made. I enjoy it. It's a nice place to be, especially for long drives, which I do quite regularly. So one thing that really has surprised me is how easy ownership of this car has been. Quite regularly on motorway stints, 40+ miles to the gallon. I get 400 miles out of a tank. It's obviously petrol. In terms of other consumable, the tyres, it hasn't gone through tyres very quickly. Oil, it's had an oil change at the service, but apart from that, there's been no change there. They give you a bottle of spare oil with the car, but that's been untouched. Brakes, I took it for a service and thought I'd eaten through the brakes, and within a year it done 9% on the, I think it was 9 or 10% on the pads, which is crazy. So in terms of overall cost of ownership, it's really just, I pay for it monthly, as most people do now. It's only cost me the monthlies and petrol, tax and insurance. Insurance is not cheap. I live in central London, so it's not cheap, but it's not the worst I've had. The Jeep was more expensive than this. I think that's the fact it had a 6.4 litre V8 made a big difference there. Everything else, when it's cleaned up, looks fantastic in here. It's quite a hard wearing car. Like I said, I put my dog in the back with a blanket and a bed, and the seats look brand new still. I do love driving the car. I think it's a fantastic car. Obviously it's got more performance than anybody could ever wish for on the road. So I have tracked it. It's fantastic on the track as well. That being said, it is a bit muted sometimes in terms of it doesn't have much character, which can be annoying. I've come from like characterful old Italian cars and American muscle Jeep things, and this is obviously a fantastic car, but it doesn't have a huge amount of character, so keep that in mind if you're looking for more of a characterful car. But with that being said, it is a fantastic car. It can do everything. I like to think of it as a baby 911 turbo. It's fast, agile. It gets a lot of good looks as well. I think it's a fantastic looking car. It's had a lot of compliments. Obviously, it's the carbon black edition, so it's got the carbon fibre, it's got the black accents on it. I think the colour, Kimura Grey, is fantastic. It makes it really stand out. In terms of just performance as a whole, it has got far more performance than you'll ever need on the road. Modern cars now are getting quicker and quicker. You've got MG electric cars now that say that they're as quick as this, which is brilliant, but also you don't need it. It is an Audi. Audis are known for being well-built, reliable cars, and that's what this has been for me. It's got me for everywhere I needed to go and more, and also had fun in it, so I can't complain on that respect. So I think at the moment the market's still really strong for these. I think if you're wanting to get in one and then resell at the same price, unfortunately that market has gone now. But they still hold their value really well. So I think it's one of the top, if not the slowest depreciating cars on the market currently. And add that to the overall experience and add that to the overall cost of ownership in terms of it's very economical when it needs to be. Hasn't cost me anything in repairs or anything. Obviously it has the Audi warranty on it, which is fantastic, but I've not had to use it. Done the service itself, on the Audi website you can actually shop around, and it's a bit strange, but different service centres do different prices. So I went up the road to Stansted. It didn't cost me an arm and a leg, and it was cheaper than a lot of other places that Audi garages. In terms of what I'd say looking out for, I think the biggest things for people wanting to buy one are going to be if you want a sportback or if you want a saloon. I am a sportback fan. Some people are saloon fans. This is a carbon black, but there was no other boxes ticked. It's just the carbon black with the performance exhaust, and I'm not missing anything in this at all. I really am not. If you're conscious about spec for resale value, then again, you've got things like the adaptive suspension, which again I've not missed in this. I think if you're doing serious track work, you might enjoy it, but for day-to-day use, you don't need it. The sound system is another big one that people will spec. I like my music. I've not noticed it being terrible. Sunroof. Personally don't want a sunroof because I don't know why, but in my mind it gives less rigidity when driving. I've got the traditional RS steering wheel. There is a more of a hexagonal style steering wheel. Wouldn't have minded either way, but I do like this one. It's a bit smaller, better in the hands. It's quite a thin wheel at the right places as well. I know like some of the M cars can be quite thick rimmed. I like a thin rim. I've got the part leather, part Alcantara. I love it. It's fantastic. I've seen the full leather interior. It's nice. I prefer the Alcantara. So my journey with this car, I just saw it and was like, I want that car. I didn't get to choose anything on it, so I got very lucky with the spec and I've enjoyed the driving experience really. When I was looking for this car, well, I knew I wanted one of these. It was very spontaneous, however, when I got it. Join me back in the boot of the car now, guys. I hope this video has been sort of useful. I can't recommend the car enough. If you are in the market for a fast hatchback, this is the perfect one in my opinion. Get in the comments below if you think I've missed anything, or if you've got any questions. Make sure to like and subscribe, please, guys. It really helps us. There's going to be plenty more videos on the Alphas, so for the guys who have subscribed from the Alphas, there's more videos coming. Let us know what you want to see from our cars below as well. We try and do track stuff, we try and do sort of maintenance stuff, all that sort of stuff. But please let us know below what you want to see from us. It does help us. And stay tuned for the next videos, guys. Thanks again, and we'll speak soon. Ciao.